So you may already know desktop goose. Basically it is just the goose, the pet which is living in your desktop. He can move around and do some crazy stuff. You may also ask, why would I even try to create something that has been already created by someone? And here's the point. There is no cat. Actually, if we are not joking, I have actually wanted to do this because I have stumbled upon a video where somebody created his own pet. And also, I have seen that it was made by using a pygame module, which I have tried to learn for a small period of time, and I have actually already done some projects with it. You can also find it on the GitHub page I have uploaded it on. And yeah, that's why I wanted to create my better version of it, or just also because it was also not a cat. So now we will start out, but first, here's the question. What goals do I want to achieve? And this is the kind of question which I never actually answer or ask me at the start. And why? Because you never know actually how the project will look at the end. Almost all of the time it looks kind of different compared to the initial state. So right now there's no plan besides making it kind of work. That's it. I just wanted to tell the truth here, so yeah. Firstly, I needed to understand how you can even make this. And before trying to seek for information, I have made actually a template. Basically, I have just imported a pygame module and also engine and deployed the window. And yay, everything works as expected. And then I have started to find some more information about how you could actually do the window transparent and just basically how to even do this as a whole project. But here is where problems appear. How do I make actually the window to be transparent? Oh my gosh. And here I have just copied it, tried to see if this would work eventually, and it works. Oh my gosh. And now I just need to implement this here, because for some reason it doesn't work here. I don't know. We will see. Why is it so difficult to do easy tasks? I have tried to search this in the internet, but there were almost no documentation nor information about this. Then I have thought to give up and trying not to use actually pygame module, but the other one, the Kinter, as actually what I could only find in the internet was about how to make something more similar, but only using that Kinter module and not the pygame itself. And yet this is the real problem. The problem also was that I could not install the packages that I needed even. This was the first problem, because the package is old first, and it's made for 32-bit architecture and not for 64-bit architecture, which I'm currently using. Eventually I have stumbled upon a solution on the site which you already know, Stack Overflow. Actually, the solution was to install another module, a different one. This module name was pywin32, and when I have installed this module, it also installed the module I actually needed. After that, I could copy the code from the video I have watched to make a window transparent and paste it. And now everything works well. Yippee! And then I wanted to implement some features in this code, which are, for example, that cat will be able to move to random position on the screen and also running to the mouse cursor. But before implementing this features into the code or / also a game, I wanted to draw a cat to have to work with something. And now was the question, which technique will I use, handwriting or something different? After a lot of time, I have decided to draw it using a pixel art technique. And not because it's easier, but because it looks much better. Surely I'm not lying. And well, after I have drawn the cat, the idle animation, I could eventually start to write real code. Coding, guys. First, what I did is actually generate some random numbers for such variables as x coordinates and y coordinates. Then I needed to use my knowledge in mathematics, which I don't know if it's really good or not, but here is it. Here's actually what I have made. I know it seems really over-engineered, but You could also do this better, but it works. Technically works. At least everything works as intended to, as expected. So how actually this works? And yeah, I will try to explain this as easily as I can to not scare you. So here's how it works. It just takes two coordinates, which are, how you can see, rectangle, rect.x, and x coordinates. Rect.x coordinate is coordinates of the cat. I just say the coordinates where actually the cat is, and the x coordinates are generated ones. Where should he go at the end? There are also y coordinates, but first it doesn't matter right now. First I want to know the difference between the coordinates itself of the cat and the generated coordinates. Why do I need to know this? To know how much steps should a cat do. You just say something, for example, like, oh, I am on coordinates of 200. For example, I'm running a marathon. I have run 200 meters, but the finish line is in 2000 meters. 2000 meters, just minus 200, will be 1800, which says how much should we move and also in which direction. Because if, for example, the finish line is on 2000 meter, but I have ran, for example, 2500 meters, then I need to run backwards in the left side. And how I said before, for example, I have run the half of the marathon, 1000 meter of 2000 meter. I don't know why it's so small numbers, but doesn't matter. You will not run a 2000 meter marathon, I guess. But yeah, here then you would actually go to the right side, because 1000 meter of 2000 meters, you run to the right side. And this is actually what I wanted to implement here, but this looks really hard if you want to read. And also, don't forget, to read code is harder than to write one. And it is actually simple, but it seems really hard at first. Then we can proceed after this. If you haven't understand it, it is also okay, because it's really complex what I have done here, and you can do that like this much more better and also easily. So if you want that I would explain eventually how here everything works in the detail and how to do something more similar on your own, then please mention it in the comments below. And if I would see that somebody is really interested in this also, I would eventually make a video about it. It will be really great. So no more deep dive into the code. Don't forget, reading a code is much more harder than to write it. So right now we just stop to really deep diving into the code. When I wanted to make the cat will change the mouse cursor, I just used pygame module to check where coordinates of the mouse are. After this I had no idea what I could add actually, but eventually I have come up with the idea. I wanted to make that the cat will be able to sleep. And for that I needed to draw a sprite for this action and some other actions, as for example just walking or running. After I have done this in sprite, I have made so that I will not have a static image but something that seems more like animation. How animations works, it's not hard. It's just changing the image one time in a small period of time. I'm just changing an image. For example, here's the first image. After 5 seconds I change it to another image. That's it. That's how it works. Basically nothing more. And also meowing, that if you will click on it, if it moves or sleeps, then it will be meowing. Sometimes it's harder to code than it sounds actually, but sometimes not. After all the things that I have done to make it better and much more interesting, the results seem pretty satisfying for me, but this is not the end. Here comes actually the last part, and it is uploading or also posting this to the itch.io site, so you can also easily install this for yourself and try it out, and maybe even post some comments and say what you liked and what you think I could improve here. And yeah, I've already uploaded this on GitHub, but right now I will upload this also on the itch.io site. So if you're interested, you can install this and try it out for yourself, or also try to play with the code to change something, to see how actually this everything works, and to maybe do something similar for you. By the way, this is not the end product or application. I will also update this and upload the updates on both sites, which are GitHub and itch.io. So here's actually the end. I hope the video was some of interesting for you and you have learned something so far new. If you could, please don't forget to like the video or subscribe, because this is my actual first video in this area of IT or also coding this sphere. I will really appreciate that, as it will help me to do things I really love to do and I wanted to do. And this channel gives me this opportunity to kind of do something new or interesting and post this on the internet, and maybe eventually build my future. Who knows? Who knows? And maybe even help someone. So if you have also any questions, you can ask me in the comments and I will be happy to answer you. So I wish you all the best and thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye!